blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they weak, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for the demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing me for granted, and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time to live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go high at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed me. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, face with the view. The pain is never gonna shift, it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. not true. I wanna put all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. No hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking on a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to only find a solution, my evolution. A place like this didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass halfway. I know, it's easier to hide just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone. Just wanna break, no, I'm not gonna give in. Take a last shot, Michael J. Win. No, I'm not a robot, I'm in my own skin. Never get lost when thoughts pull you in. I miss the old you, we died with a purpose. All the energy around me felt nervous, scared I would pop off fast to the surface. Had to cut it off before you made me worthless. Torn apart, been torn and scarred. I had a given art, but now I'm thinking smart. I'm keeping up my guard, I'm hiding every part. A royal flush of love, you never know what's hard. With a back to the mat, to see where I'm at. I'ma fight like I'm mad, I'm a beast. Something that they can never be me. Nice try, but they'll see I achieve everything while they stay salty. I started to go. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. Now I feel like taking off, a place with a view, and it's never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know time can heal it all, I just gotta through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off the view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through.
Man, I thought I was going to be live with my Raw review this morning, but it turned out I woke up. It was 8-something in the morning. I fell back asleep. I woke up. It was 10-something. Then I fell back asleep a second time. Then I woke up, sleep a third time. And then I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm getting up. I'm getting my Monday night review ready. And here we are. Monday Night Raw, episode 9 this week. It was mid. Outside of Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable, the Street Profits versus Jimmy and Solo Sikoa, and Becky Lynch and Lita winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, there was nothing else good on this show. Everything else was the complete sizzling shits. Everything on this show was not good at all. Everything else on this show was basically complete garbage. So you pretty much missed nothing. I'm just going to say that. Those of you that didn't want Monday Night Raw, you missed nothing. I'm telling you right now, you missed absolutely nothing. If you guys are new to the channel, turn on that bell for all notifications. You can also follow me on Instagram at IWNGamer1. Don't forget to add me on Facebook as well, because that's where I share my YouTube content. The links to all my accounts are in the description below. You know, where it says it's below social media. It's below where it says social description. Facebook and Instagram links and all of that. Thank you guys for joining the live chats here this evening. We got a lot of W and AW Wednesday afternoon news to go over, and we got plenty more because live my NXT review. At first, I made a decision not to go live with it just because the show wasn't that good, just because there were only 2 or 3 things on the show that stood out to me. I decided, you know what, why not? But I'm still going to post a voting poll asking if I should go live, if you guys think I should go live with my NXT review, just in case. Just in case. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Monday Night Raw review right away. Don't waste anybody's time here. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa versus Profits. We got a lengthy recap video showing us exactly what happened last week. So Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa made their way to the ring for a tag team match against the Street Profits. Jey Uso was nowhere to be found. So Jimmy delivered a promo trying to claim that the blood was fine and dandy. He played off the drama as typical family stuff, saying Roman Reigns would continue to run the show. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins came out, talked some trash before knocking Jimmy and Sikoa out of the ring. This is one of the many best matches on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. One of the few. They returned from break to see the match finally getting started. Dawkins took control. It only took Jimmy a moment to turn things around. While the match was certainly competitive, it gave both teams time to shine. The Bloodline were controlling the pace more often than not. The Profits were able to get in a bit more offense after the mid-card, or mid-match, should I say, commercial break. But Sikoa still scored the win for his team with a on spike to Dawkins. It was a fast-paced contest to get the crowd in the right frame of mind. Both teams looked good, and seeing how well Sikoa worked alongside his brother was fun. However, WWE needs to figure something more for Ford and Dawkins. They are over with the crowd and have had nothing to do for months, because just for the simple fact that both sets of tag teams are tied up in Bloodline storyline at this point. So we'll see what happens. We will see what's going to happen in the coming few weeks. The Street Profits. They may just have Montez Ford turn heel on Angelo Dawkins. You never know. Never say never in WWE, they say. That's the WWE saying. Now we move on straight from that to the VIP lounge. But before VIP lounge even happened, we got signed a I think segment or something like that. No, we didn't get that. The broadcast team set up footage from last week of MVP challenging Brock Lesnar to face Omos at WrestleMania. That's what we got. I remember now. That's exactly what we got. A graphic question would go up to respond to that include Edge talking about his own content. And just in case, because the skip, graphic question rather Lesnar show up to respond challenge. Patrick set up a Creed 3 sponsorship clip that include Edge talking about his own comeback. The broadcast team plugged the movie again, but they were interrupted by a entrance music. Yeah. They were interrupted by entrance music once Brock Lesnar made his entrance. Furniture was set up inside the ring for the VIP lounge. Now, this is where things get more. You guys might want to click off of this if you don't want to hear about this VIP lounge segment, because I didn't like it at all. I thought it was fucking boring to watch. It wasn't good at all. Lesnar took a seat on the one of the couches, and then MVP walked onto the stage with a microphone in hand. Lesnar mockingly applauded from inside the ring. MVP said this wasn't how he envisioned it going when he visited Lesnar. Brock apologized and invited MVP to join him. MVP said he was good where he was. Lesnar said he had no beef with MVP. He'll stop business, pretty much, he says. So then Lesnar said he was there to listen to MVP sell him and the people on a fight. MVP asked if they could just talk business and he wouldn't have to worry about going to Suplex City. Trying to take my time because I have plenty. So that's why I'm not really going over it fast. Lesnar said there would be no suplexes. The crowd booed. MVP took Lesnar at his word and entered the ring. Lesnar recalled MVP, calling him a coward, said he wasn't insulted. Lesnar told MVP to hype the fight. MVP stood up, ended up talking about how Lesnar couldn't handle Bobby Lashley, yet for some reason thinks he can handle the giant Omos. Lesnar grinned and nodded. MVP said the beast can destroy any man, but a giant will subdue and conquer. MVP said Lesnar could suplex in F5 nearly any man, but he couldn't do that to Omos. Lesnar said MVP did a good job and claimed he had goosebumps. Lesnar got MVP to high-five him. Lesnar accepted the challenge to face Otis at WrestleMania. Lesnar said they should shake on it and drink on it. That's disgusting. Lesnar put his arm around MVP, and they looked at the WrestleMania sign while Lesnar hyped it. MVP offered champagne for their toast. Lesnar said he's a farmer, and he brought the good stuff. Lesnar pulled out a flask, whatever the fuck that is. No, who cares? Anyways, Lesnar took a big off the flask. MVP said he'd stick with the champagne with Lesnar. Fans booed. Lesnar handed MVP the flask and asked if he was going to make him drink alone. MVP said absolutely not. He asked what was in the flask. Lesnar said it was white lightning. MVP took a swing and ended up splitting it out on Lesnar. A "you fucked up" chant broke out and was censored to where nobody couldn't hear it. MVP was apologetic. Lesnar put the flask and wiped off his face and blew his nose with his pocket square and then gave him F5. Folks, and then you wonder why there's news on talent complaining about the matches on the WrestleMania 39 card. This is one of the reasons why the fans are complaining. Lesnar versus Omos. You want to know who asked for Lesnar versus Omos? The Lesnar and us geeks in the community, in the internet wrestling community. Nobody wants to see this match. This match is going to be awful, 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 awful. What an awful match to book for WrestleMania 39. This match is going to be so garbage. I don't like WWE's chant. Just doesn't do anything for me at all. None whatsoever. This is one of the most boringest, dumbest decisions WWE's ever made. It played better to the dumb, casual viewers, the Omos and Brock Lesnar fans, the geeks online, of course. This is a straight-up flat WrestleMania match for Lesnar. If you're not going to book this match, you might as well be using him on TV. Brock Lesnar is not even needed anyway. They got enough young talent down there. He's not needed. And they need to they need to get rid of Omos. Omos is terrible in the ring. We don't want Omos in the ring. Brock Lesnar. That is not the match you book for WrestleMania. That is not a WrestleMania caliber match. Not even Wyatt versus Lashley is a WrestleMania caliber match. You want to know why fans are complaining You want to know why talent complaining? Because of matches like this. Matches lost. Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley. Nobody anticipated those matches being booked for WrestleMania. No wonder, because Vince McMahon. It turns out Vince McMahon is the one behind these matches being booked. I already know. I'm not stupid. I know it's Vince McMahon. This was Vince's idea all along. It was Vince's idea to have both of these god-awful matches booked for WrestleMania 39. And I can't stand it. I wish they would get Vince McMahon the fuck out of power again. And there's news. There's suspicions. There's suspicious news on Vince McMahon possibly being back in WWE as head of creative. That doesn't surprise me either. That doesn't surprise me at all. I hate it. I hated that. So bad I kicked off quickly. That news. I was not happy. We're going to go over that. I was not happy about it. I really wasn't. We're going to go over it sometime. Either after the Raw review or after the NXT review later on. And I want you guys to hear about it too. I'm pretty sure you guys that are subscribed to my channel that are wrestling fans are not happy about Vince McMahon being in power either. Becky Lynch and Lita were interviewed on the backstage. They spoke about their desire to win the tag titles, which they did last night. Or not last night, but this Monday night. Last night was NXT. Lynch said she doesn't have a good reputation for playing well with others, but there's no one she'd rather team with. They really need to get that Brock Lesnar match off the card. Get Lashley and Wyatt off the card while you're at it. These are spewing for disaster. These matches are going to be the reasons why after WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania views are going to drop. I'm telling you right now, if the WrestleMania 39 viewership and ratings drop, those two matches that are booked are going to be the reasons why the WrestleMania viewership drops to an all-time low. Just because of those two matches. And then talent would have reasons to be complaining. All this talent. This is terrible, man. This is a man. God, I wish they would take those matches off the card. My goodness. So garbage, man. One of the worst WWE creatives ever to book two matches that are not even WrestleMania caliber matches. Wyatt's gimmick it's been so fucking garbage, man, on TV. They really need to give Wyatt his old gimmick back. The ear of the world's gimmick. They need to give him his ear of the world gimmick back. This new gimmick he's got now, it is not doing him any good on TV. Wyatt is good in the ring, get me wrong. His gimmick is just not good. It is, ugh. Words I don't even want to describe. Words that I want to say so bad that I don't feel like saying. Cody Rhodes, Sean Patrick, hyped his match against Chad Gable. Video package taunted John Cena returning on next week's Raw Boston. Cody Rhodes made his ends to a good reaction, followed by the Alpha Academy duo. This was another one of the best matches on Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Two of the best in-ring performers that this generation has. This was a great match. I enjoyed this. Even JD on his podcast said he had this match. Even he said this match was great. I absolutely agree, man. I thought this match was better than any other match on the card. Honest. There was a Cody chant during the opening seconds of the match. Cody performed an early sunset flip. but Gable escaped and applied an ankle lock, which Rhodes. Gable went to the ropes, and Cody followed. Rhodes performed an inverted superplex from the middle rope. Gable performed a dragon screw leg whip coming out of the break. So it was hour 2, and Gable went for a top rope headbutt, which Rhodes avoided. Rhodes sold knee pain while performing some of his signature offensive moves. Cody performed a clunky-looking disaster kick for a 2 count. A short time later, Cody went for another disaster kick, but Gable caught him and performed a German suplex for a 2 count. He performed the German suplex for a 2 count, a bridging one. Gable went for a backslide and hoisted up Cody, slammed him to the mat with a cliffhanger DDT. Gable followed with a top rope moonsault near fall. Cody and Gable took turns going for hip tosses. Cody got the better of it, sent Gable over the top rope. Rhodes performed a suicide dive. The broadcast team noted that Otis was nowhere to be found and seemed distracted. Cody walked over Otis, put his arm around him, and said, "She's over there." Otis said she's snapped out of it. And get your mind out of together, Otis. Maxine Dupree has a husband already. Get your mind out of it. Otis snapped out of it. He did and went after Cody. Otis tossed him over the barricade. I don't know why I said Otis. And into the front row. Rose formed a springboard and then hit cross Rose for the win. Otis needs to get his mind out of it, man. He really does. Seriously. After the match, Cody kissed the man and then had a mic passed to him. Cody noted that they're 33 days away from WrestleMania. He said he has yet to stand in the same ring as Roman Reigns. Cody said Reigns is on SmackDown on Friday. Cody's exhausted because he will be there too. Yes, I have some news on Cody Rhodes being slated to appear on SmackDown. I got some news on that. We'll over that. Don't worry. I got you guys covered. When it comes to your WWE AEW news, I have you covered, man. Another nice tease for Friday night SmackDown, of course, it was laid out to be more competitive than anybody anticipated. Anybody in the community anticipated. Cody, who had a small cut on his forehead, still went over strong, and the finishing sequence was strong. Now, this is a match that creative win, especially Gable, once Otis spins off into his modeling storyline with the Maximum Male Models. This gimmick has to go. This Maximum Male Models gimmick, no. I do not like it at all. Marseille and Swan, they need to go back to their old gimmicks. So he needs to go back to his Saudi Arabia gimmick. Marseille needs to go back to playing football. Go back to NFL. That's where he needs to go because that's where he was. That's where he was back in the NFL. I don't know what WWE does with Maxine Dupree. I don't know. Maybe take her to the Performance Center, train her to be a WWE female superstar. I don't know. I mean, she's a former cheerleader, is she not? Former 2-time cheerleader for Jacksonville, for that Jacksonville football team. I don't know. I don't know what they would do with Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree for WWE to be releasing from the company. I mean, But still, this gimmick is not doing them any good. On top of that, it was critical of the presentation of last week's match between Austin Theory and Edge. WWE has done somewhat of a better job of setting the table for the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. Baron Corbin was interviewed by Byron Saxton, who conceded that things hadn't been going his way. Saxton wrapped up the interview while making it seem like he was getting a coup through his piece or whatever. Corbin was upset. Saxton approached Kevin Owens, who said he didn't need or want any help in taking down the Bloodline. The broadcast team footage from SmackDown of Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio's appearances on last week's show. Graves set up a new WrestleMania Goes Hollywood video that featured Montez Ford and Bianca Belair doing their own version of the Titanic. Ford trophy and dropped his phone in the water. So again, WrestleMania Goes Hollywood video featured Montez Ford, Bianca Belair doing their own version of the Titanic. Ford tried to take a selfie and then he dropped his phone. So we would have to see how the rest of it go. It has been overwhelmed by the new WrestleMania Goes Hollywood videos compared to the classic versions. Judgment Day members, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, Damon Priest, Finn Balor were shown backstage. They spoke while footage of Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio last week's SmackDown was shown. Dom said he has a much anticipated match against Liv Morgan on it, and he'll be there. So maybe their chat, maybe. Ripley spoke about how she didn't have to say a word to Charlotte Flair. Balor spoke about his attack on Edge after last week's main event while that footage was shown. Balor said Edge doesn't get to say when things are things if Edge accepts his challenge for a WrestleMania. So then, again, I'm going to read it because the audio, I don't know what it's doing stupid stuff. It's because the laptop just got charged. It's probably why. I got to get a new laptop, man. I'm trying to get a gaming laptop. I'm trying to bid one on the eBay app, but it's getting hard trying to find one. It really is. Anyways, in case you guys didn't hear what I said, Balor said Edge doesn't get to say when they're over between him and Judgment Day. Balor, they could end things if Edge accepts his challenge for a WrestleMania match. Otis was approached by Maxine Dupree. Marseille and Messoir. Dupree asked if he considered her offer She said that if Otis had a match during Raw, that they would love to be in his corner to observe. An excited Otis called out for Adam Pearce to give him a match. Who knows? The Maximum Male Models may turn on Otis. Who knows? Hope to God they do turn on Otis to where he doesn't join them at all. We don't want Otis joining the Maximum Male Models. No, that's not what we want. Asuka made her entrance for her match against Carmella. An ad for Tuesday's NXT showcased Tyler Bate versus Carmelo Hayes. Carmella made her entrance. You got Asuka versus Carmella. So, I don't know what you guys think of this match. I wasn't really interested. But it gave Asuka to do at least. It gave Asuka an opponent she can destroy and pretty much annihilate. At least. So Asuka was out first for her match against one of the other women who were in the Elimination Chamber with her, which is Carmella, the Princess of Staten Island. Did not seem intimidated by Asuka and put up a good fight, controlled the action a few times. The match went through a commercial break, so it wasn't just a quick squash for the Empress of Tomorrow. WWE wants to portray her as a beast. Still sells for her opponents because she is a pro. The match itself wasn't anything special. It's referred to what I said in the beginning before I went over this match between Asuka. But like I said, it wasn't anything special. It served its purpose, which was to give Asuka, as she awaits her title shot at WrestleMania. So Carmella is good at putting other people, or so I think she is. And she was the right choice. The Empress scored the win, called out Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE showed up, where Carmella ended up shoving Asuka into her to end the segment. There should be some character. I like her character, though. Her new character is fine. But there doesn't seem to be much behind the broadcast team telling us that it's the most dangerous version of the character that we've seen in WWE. Being yelled like an old, the last thing anybody wanted to hear or see. The post-match angle with Carmella presumably set her up for a television match against Becky. If that's what people think. That's not what I think, though. Hopefully, it also leads to the build to Belair versus Asuka heating up, because it's pretty flat right now. It's not going good right now. The broadcast team, Miz TV, oh great, I can't hardly wait to pick up my remote and change the fucking. And the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Piper Niven made her entrance. Miz TV is channel changing garbage. Miz TV. Piper Niven made her entrance for her match against Candice LeRae. A sponsorship. Bronson Reed. Candice LeRae made her entrance. Candice LeRae's match against Piper Niven wasn't much either. Nikki Cross stood at ringside. Niven performed Uranagi slam. And then followed up with a senton for a 2 count. LeRae rallied a short time later, but Niven her on the middle rope and shoved her to the floor. Then Niven went to ringside, tossed LeRae back inside the ring, then grabbed Cross and threw her into the barricade. Niven returned to the ring, looked back across. LeRae rolled up Niven and stole the pin. That was it. That was it, man. Man, all I got to say about this, man, the crowd was quiet for that match. And LeRae just hasn't really connected as a babyface on the main roster so far. Hopefully they can find a way to connect her as a babyface on the main roster to have the crowd cheering for her. And you know what? To be honest, it was quick. And it also didn't really give either woman a chance to stand out. I noticed too. That's not good. WWE needs to work on their women's division, man. They really do. If they want their women's divisions to be the best divisions ever, they need a draft. They need a blend split. They need a draft or a brand split. Something to happen. Brand split or draft. They need star power in these divisions, man. And as I was saying a few months back, Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day being drafted to SmackDown. Judgment Day, new opponents, gives Rhea Ripley new opponents within the SmackDown Women's division. Gives Judgment Day new opponents in the tag team division. I think and Rhea Ripley being drafted to SmackDown is a good decision on WWE's part, at least for the being. Rhea Ripley drafted to SmackDown as SmackDown Women's Champion. We got Bobby Lashley versus Elias. I am not going over that Miz TV bullshit. That shit, Rich. I'm not going over that. So, what happened with this match between Bobby Lashley and Elias? A tail of tape was shown for the match because it was sponsored by Creed 3. Elias attacked Lashley. Lashley quick body slammed Elias, then clotheslined him over the top rope. Rick Boots was shown watching a backstage monitor while taking notes. Lashley hoisted up Elias, who slid away and caught him with a knee to the head. Back inside the ring, Lashley performed a flatliner and then followed up with a spear before applying the hurt lock for the submission win. And that was pretty much it. After the match, Lashley got a microphone, told the crowd that he wasn't in a good mood. There's days where I'm not in a good mood. Even when I go to work, there's days when I'm not in a good mood. He said he owned Brock Lesnar at Elimination Chamber. Lesnar resorted to a low blow. Lashley said he won the match, but he wanted more. He said that for proving his dominance over Lesnar, he gets Bray Wyatt playing kid games. Lashley said he doesn't play little kid games. Lashley told Wyatt to keep his name out of his mouth, or I will hurt you. Right on the big screen while Lashley was leaving the ring, I was in exercise mode and told everyone to pull up their pants and do the muscle man dance. Footage of Lashley was mixed in along with Huskus the pig. Various images flashed on the screen, including Uncle Howdy. And then Wyatt was shown saying, "Run." Lashley watched the end of the video and walked backstage. finish of the match probably would have been the more complicated one. The idea of Wyatt versus Lesnar, no. No, even Wyatt versus Lesnar, not a WrestleMania caliber match. No, sorry. All three of those matches are not WrestleMania caliber matches and are dumb ideas that basically pretty much came from Vince McMahon himself. Vince McMahon is the reason why Wyatt versus Lashley was booked in the first place. If you want somebody to blame Vince McMahon for those matches being booked. Don't blame JD, blame Vince McMahon. Backstage, Chelsea Green asked Adam Pearce, she was supposed to know that there's an auto in Ontario, last week's Raw host city. Oh yeah. Canada happens to be Chelsea Green's hometown as well. Of course, Edge, Beth Phoenix, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Aaliyah. It's their hometown, and Natalya, can't forget her. She's channel changing guard, Natalya is. And not just in Illinois. Carmella entered the room. Pearce claimed he had a call to take and said that Carmella could face Bianca on Raw next week. Then dismissed himself. Green and Carmella introduced themselves to one another and were getting along. A new alliance was formed. This is the alliance, Green and Carmella. Otis made his entrance along with Maxine Dupree, Mace, and Sikoa. Patrick read through some advertising, and then Johnny Gargano made his entrance to a flat reaction. Probably because they changed his fucking theme song. Remember that old theme song he had in NXT? Why aren't they going with that? Why do you got to go with a new theme song for Johnny Gargano? His theme song is basically an upgrade. It's basically an upgrade of the older one. So Otis versus Johnny Gargano. Now, Dupree was at ringside to watch as Otis took control early on by overpowering his smaller opponent. It took Johnny wrestling a couple of minutes before he could put together any offense. Marseille and Mansoor tried to interfere, but Dexter Lumis appeared in the crowd, grabbed Marseille in a chokehold. Gargano recovered and hit a huge DDT on the apron. Johnny Wrestling was able to get the win in what ended up being a short match. It had some highlights, but they could have done a lot more with just a few more minutes. There you go, folks. There you go, man. And you know what? The highlight of all of this was Graves labeling Gargano as Johnny Philin Durrier. I don't know what the fuck that is. Because he looked at Maxine. Otis with funnels doesn't sound good at all. Not a good idea. Bad decision on WWE having Otis to join the Maximum Male Models. Paul Heyman was interviewed backstage by Kathy Kelly, who asked him about Cody Rhodes, saying he would appear on Friday's SmackDown. Heyman said he loved it. Heyman started to sell the idea of Cody confronting Roman Reigns, but only cut in said that Cody never actually said he would confront Reigns. Heyman said Rhodes wouldn't just show up. He'd crash the gates of the island of relevancy. women said Cody would either confront Reigns or Cody would be beaten by Reigns. Graves hyped the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match for after the break. An ad for SmackDown hyped Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes appearing on SmackDown. Separate backstage shots were shown of the challengers and the champions heading into the main event. Sounds to me like this episode of SmackDown is going to deliver, hopefully. Let's hope so. With Roman Reigns and Cody being on it. That's probably going to be the best thing on this week's episode of SmackDown. More than likely. The broadcast team recapped footage of the Lesnar MVP segment. They officially announced Lesnar versus Omos for WrestleMania. Yeah. Nobody's looking forward to that. That shit's gonna be so bad. It is not going to deliver. As soon as they get to Lesnar versus Omos, the minute they get to Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt, the minute they get to those two matches, they're going to lose viewers faster than a cheetah can run. I'm telling you, the viewership for WrestleMania is probably going to fall because of these two matches. The following matches and segments were announced for next week's Raw. Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul meeting face to face. You know how many times we've seen Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa? Really? Give me a break. John Gargano versus Finn Balor. That's going to be a good match. That's an NXT match right there. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Carmella in a non-title match. And John Cena's return. What makes WWE think that Carmella deserves an opportunity for Bianca Belair as Raw Women's Champion? I don't understand this. Okay, she had a match, but she lost. Why book her in a non-title match knowing she lost? No matter what championship match Carmella is being booked in, she did nothing to deserve that match. She lost her match against Asuka. I don't get that. Becky Lynch and Lita Matrix for the main event. The WrestleMania 39 video aired. They said we're 30 days away from the two-night event. Whatever. We know. Ain't stupid. What the shit, WWE. Damage CTRL made their entrance. You got Dakota Kai and Io Sky with Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Lita for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Mike Room delivered in-ring introductions for the championship match. Lynch and Sky started. They tagged out quickly. There were cheers when Lita entered for the first time, followed by a "Let's Go Lita" chant. The challengers made quick tags and performed double hip tosses on both champions. Kai and Sky ended up in the challenger's corner. Lynch dropped down on all fours. And Lita ran and launched off of Lynch's back onto both opponents. Kai and Sky ended up at ringside. Lynch dove from the apron onto them. Sky performed a moonsault on Lynch. Sky brought Lynch back to the ring, covered her for a 2 count. A Becky chant broke out briefly. A short time later, Sky stomped the back of Lynch after tagging out. The referee didn't count until Sky left the ring. So Graves pointed out that Sky was actually to blame for not getting out of the ring quicker. Lynch started to show signs of life. Bayley threw one of the tag team titles in the ring. The referee cleared the belt from the ring and missed it when Bayley pulled Lita off the apron to prevent Lynch from making the tag. The champions got a near fall on Lynch. Trish Stratus made her entrance, attacked Bayley at ringside. Lynch made a hot tag. Lita put Sky down with both clotheslines. They formed a head scissors takedown. Lita awkwardly spun Sky's head into the mat, covered her for a 2 count. Lita went to the ropes. Sky pulled her down. Sky went for her moonsault. Lita moved out of the way. Lita kicked and put her down with a twist fate. Lita went up top for her finisher. Bayley tried to pull her down, but Trish pulled Bayley down to the floor and kicked her. Kai went after Lita, but Lynch pulled her to the apron and put her in the disarmor. Lita hit the top rope moonsault on Sky and pinned her. I still think Io Sky's moonsault is better. Lynch, Lita, and Trish celebrated in the ring, while Graves closed, saying they were taking things back to the future. Again, Lynch, Lita, Trish celebrated in the ring. Pyro shot off while Graves closed the show by saying taking things back to the future. So, Sky pretty much had no choice but to sell just the fate for an eternity. But the live crowd really enjoyed the title change. We might get Lita and Trish versus Damage CTRL at WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised if the news comes out that Lita, Lynch, Trish versus Damage CTRL is booked for WrestleMania 30. Not surprised. I would not be surprised at all. We all know the match was going to be booked at some point. Remember, at first I came up with the idea, what if we get Lynch, Lita, and Trish versus Damage CTRL for Elimination Chamber? But it seems like we're getting a WrestleMania for WrestleMania 39. Maybe. Well, after all, the match is not booked for WrestleMania 39 because Lita and Lynch are defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. So, I don't think we are getting that match. We're getting the match that people asked for. The show was a mixed bag. It was mid. Only things delivered on the show. Everything else was a complete disaster from the word go. Now, I will say that the creative team did a good job making the main event feel important while also setting the table for next week's bigger episode. I can't wait for SmackDown. I can't wait to see Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns face to face. Or Roman Reigns confront Rhodes. Something. SmackDown something, man, because their viewership's been falling like crazy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for your Monday Night Raw review for March the 1st, 2023. It's the first day of March. Look at that. Look at that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the review, hit that thumbs up. Please, let's get to a lot of likes on stream, minimum. And I'm going to take a 3-4 minute break. I'm going to fix me some lunch, man. I'm getting hungry. And if you guys have time, hopefully you'll have time to get your lunch ready too, because we got a lot of WWE AEW Wednesday afternoon news to go over, and I got more WWE AEW Wednesday afternoon news to go over. We'll go over the rest of it on the NXT review. I'm going to post a voting poll asking you guys if I should go live for the NXT review. I'm going to do a thumbnail just in case. Just in case. If not, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on my AEW Dynamite thumbnail in background for the AEW Dynamite watch along. So, anyways, you guys, if you're just joining for the review, and if you're just joining for the review and for your WWE AEW Wednesday afternoon news, stay tuned, man, because we're going to go over your WWE AEW Wednesday afternoon news after the break. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put on some good music for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got news on Cody Rhodes, The Rock's cousin. We got a lot of Bloodline news, a lot of SmackDown news. News on Tony Khan, Vicky Guerrero, the AEW Rampage viewership. We got news on AEW Revolution, and so much more. So stay tuned, and we will be right back after the break to go over all that.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Be obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up every taunting if I can see my dreams. Make things right, 'cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go. I'll make things right, 'cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
On the way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better and I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once, so they get famous. And when I really can't take it, in spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They lose, but you know I never fail. I'll give up everything. If I can
call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change, I've been in this exchange, popping the veins, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me send. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss, oh, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing that I'm always learning. You could call me academic, I'm always working. Never been apathetic, that energy is like poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in one could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate, bitch, you can fucking fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. As I came to the game, and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never gap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, trash and shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. Lose half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't to the top, so you better back off and get lost. Stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, yeah. I'll be getting loud, you can have it douse, not what I'm about. Have your fucking cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my fucking mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get shots, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, things impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All over this is war with the enemy, that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was born chaotic. Go to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. Never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you need greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on, take your aim. Built to last with the way I'm weak. Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, gotta really bab it. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Tossing the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow, I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from the people who leave me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon. No coming in this life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like she heard it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody to save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak mind. Think stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5 mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from the people who deceive me. My hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, heard it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, who can say no, free me. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear down.
Wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, I got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours a day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. Wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. If you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Took until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see. Matter of fact,
cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
All righty. Here we go, folks. I'm back. I'm back from break. It's now time for me to go over your WWE and AEW Wednesday afternoon news. Because let me tell you right now, we got a lot of it to go over. As usual, we're going to start with your WWE Wednesday afternoon news. We're going to kick it off with the news on a surprising babyface turn that will apparently play into WrestleMania angle, says Ringside News. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but WrestleMania is well on their way to WWE is well on their way to WrestleMania. And that includes a rather surprising, I'd say, babyface turn along the way. The road to WrestleMania will include many things to build toward those in-ring collisions. And it could include more superstars than those who are actually involved in the Marquardt matches. Santos Escobar is now a babyface and sharing respectful promos backstage with Rey Mysterio. Now, to those of you that think that was expected, it was not expected. Nobody expected Santos Escobar to turn babyface. That was a surprise to many Santos Escobar fans in the community. It will certainly play into Mr. 619's road to the show of shows, and the community I'm referring to is the internet wrestling community over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There's a lot of wrestling communities on all social media platforms. Now, during Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the recent storyline developments between Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. It was said that it was pretty much said that Santos Escobar will likely play a role in this angle in the weeks to come because his babyface turn came out of the blue brand for this angle. This is what Dave Meltzer said. He said, and I quote, "There's got to be a reason why they linked Rey and Santos Escobar. So maybe Santos Escobar, Dominic and Judgment Day do something. And Rey has to make the save. Because they were pushing the hell out of Rey and Dominic. And the people really wanted Rey to hit him. And Rey didn't hit him. So we have to be getting pretty darn close to that one. And he goes on to say that Santos Escobar has to fit in there somewhere because the whole Rey and Santos Escobar thing came out of the blue. End quote. It was interesting that WWE switched Santos Escobar to the babyface side of things in such sudden fashion. We'll have to see what's next in this situation. The road to WrestleMania could include a twist or two for him as well. So we'll have to see how this shapes up as, of course, we all continue speeding down the road to WrestleMania. How you guys think this might shake up? Let me know in the live chats. WWE superstar's father. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you guys when I go over this. So, WWE superstar father gets credit for coming up with Stable's catchphrase. Now, Imperium consists of Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. The stable is getting a lot of attention and could be positioned as a dominant force on the WWE roster. Through it all, they have not lost respect for the ring and everything that entails. While speaking to The Bump, Gunther confirmed that the team's motto, that the mat is sacred, actually came from Ludwig Kaiser's own father. It says here, and I quote, "I have to say to his Kaiser's dad, he inspired all of us because that's where our identity comes from." Gunther began. Obviously, Gio, we connected later, so it was a little bit different, perhaps, there with a heavy influence on all of us. So he says there was a heavy influence on all of us, and quote, Ludwig Kaiser agreed with Gunther's opinion in a huge way. In a huge way, man, in a special major way. He chimed in to explain how the ring is indeed sacred for them. And he goes on to say, 100% down the mat is sacred and all that kind of stuff. My dad, I remember a very young age, whenever there were some kind of festivity or whatever, he would always raise his glass and say, the mat is sacred. A lot of the things that we say, and to a certain extent portray on TV, is what we actually think. When I was taught when I was a little boy, end quote. I think that's from Ludwig Kaiser. That paragraph right there. The first one I read is from Gunther. The other one I think is from Ludwig Kaiser. We'll have to see what the road to WrestleMania 39 has in store for Imperium. Many fans wanted to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. It isn't happening, unfortunately. Gunther later said that the face-to-face he had with Lesnar at the Royal Rumble was all they needed for now. Gunther versus Lesnar is probably not a good idea. More than likely not a good idea to book for WrestleMania anyway. To be honest. They're both heels. Why would you need Brock Lesnar versus Gunther when they're both heels anyway? It makes no sense. Good on you not to book that match for WrestleMania. Good on them. I'm glad that match is not being on the card. And to be honest, that would be a better match than Lesnar versus Omos and Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley, to be honest. I'm just saying. There is belief within the community, I'm going to say. There's belief within WWE that Logan Paul will tear the house down at WrestleMania 39. At least there's belief from Freddie Prinze Jr. Because it says here that they are set for a collision course at WrestleMania 39 while speaking in a recent episode of Wrestling with Freddie. Former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. stated that he believes Logan Paul will tear the house down with Seth Rollins. It says here, and I quote, now I'm going to say the bad before the... That was one of the worst curb stomps. Hold on. Is my music playing? I thought so. I thought my music wasn't playing. I must have had it paused or something. Anyways. I was trying to make sure the music in the background was playing too. But anyways, it says, and I quote, "That was one of the worst curb stomps I've ever seen." Prince Jr. said about Paul's curb stomp to Rollins inside the Elimination Chamber through his foot, barely connecting. I know, it was bad. I have to agree with Prince Jr. on that one. It was bad. It was absolutely terrible. Paul's a better heel when he thinks he's a babyface than when he tries to be a heel. This time, he was trying to be a heel, and it didn't come off that believable. I'll bet you this, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul will tear the freaking house down. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I know they're gonna. End quote. Who's to say they will? Who's to say they won't? We'll have to see when that pay-per-view gets here. Logan Paul will also meet up with Seth Rollins in order to train for their upcoming match. We'll have to wait and see how the match will turn out. What is y'all's take on this story? WWE apparently has interesting plans for the Bloodline. There's a lot of Bloodline news. So we're going to go over that first. They have interesting plans for the Bloodline after Jey Uso ditched them on SmackDown. The Bloodline storyline continues to be a gripping one as fans stay glued to the TV screen whenever they are there. Now, this is mostly because of how Sami Zayn has been the heart and soul of the whole storyline. During WWE SmackDown, Uso made an attempt to speak with his brother, Jey Uso, who has been keeping his distance from the Roman Reigns-led faction ever since the group attacked Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. Additionally, Jey tried to intervene when the Tribal Chief was about to hit Zayn with a steel chair at Elimination Chamber. However, Jimmy Uso's attempt to have a conversation with his brother was disrupted by the Master Strategist, as the show had other surprises in store for the Bloodline member. It's worth noting that Jimmy attacked Sami Zayn on both previous occasions. Jey Uso would then ditch his brother Jimmy. After SmackDown went off the air, Jimmy Uso teamed up with his younger brother, Solo Sikoa. According to Fightful's paywall, the two faced off against the OC in a greedy encounter produced by Jason Jordan. This could indicate that they are planning more interactions like this in the future as we continue on the road to WrestleMania 39 in SoFi Stadium on April 1st and 2nd. It wasn't the first time that Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa had teamed up, as they previously competed together at WWE house shows. With Jimmy Uso absent from the scene, the match was intense and dark, with both teams locking horns in an exciting battle. I have to see how WWE will continue booking Bloodline as we head towards WrestleMania 39. What is y'all's take on this story? Sound off in the comments. The Rock's cousin wants to join the Bloodline. I originally thought it was Umaga's son, but come to find out it was Tamina Snuka. I mean, who the fuck wants Tamina Snuka to join the Bloodline? Nobody. Nobody. I don't think anybody can care less about Tamina Snuka these days. The daughter of Jimmy Snuka, a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. Tamina made her WWE debut in 2010. At the time, she was regarded as one of the most powerful women in the organization. I would love to know how. Many of her supporters were led to believe that she would easily ascend to the top of the women's division because of her devised size or whatever. However, that did not happen. Tamina debuted on the main roster of the Stanford-based business in 2010. Since then, she has participated actively in both SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. 45-year-old is a 9-time 24/7 champion and a former women's tag team champion. Furthermore, Tamina has been connected to joining the Bloodline for the past 2 years due to the fact that she is also the Usos and Roman Reigns' cousin. In a recent interview with TMZ Sports, the former women's tag team champion discussed the prospect of joining the dominant group. It says here, and I quote, "I feel like everybody wants to be part of the Bloodline. So I'd be stupid if I don't want to be Blood. Yeah, I want to be part of the Bloodline. Labs. It's like, yeah, of course everybody says, but again, you don't ever know. You know how it is. WWE will hit you with a surprise from the side of the face. You don't even know where that's coming from." Tamina, meanwhile, expressed her pride in the Bloodline and mentioned how each member of the gang is succeeding in their current story. She goes on to say, "I'm proud of that Bloodline." And then you go and see everything like with Solo Sikoa. This boy is doing his own thing. They are all thriving, bro, in that way. Because they are finding each of who they are. Each person is thriving in that way. They each have something to prove. That's what's funny about it. With this Bloodline, you had Sami Zayn come in. That's a whole other thing. You got Sami Uso in there. So you had a whole thing. It's a family bond. But man, the battles, it's that what's going to come next? What's going to come next with this Bloodline? You never know, because they're going to hit you with something new every time. And quote, on the August 22nd, 2022 episode of Monday Night Raw, Tamina and Dana Brooke competed in a fatal four-way match for a second chance to compete in the Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. So we'll have to wait and see if WWE decides to bring her back to television and consider the idea of her joining the Bloodline. No, not going to happen. I'd rather see Naomi join the Bloodline than Tamina. Are you fucking kidding me? Tamina. No way, Jose. Not happening. I mean, when last time we've seen Tamina? Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Ex-WWE superstar was set to debut new gimmick before release. Fightful Select recently spoke to Smith about making another return to WWE. The former tag team champion said that he would resign only for the money. He also, that's what Brock Lesnar is about. That's what all these other legends like Goldberg are about. He also noted that he didn't believe his heart would be into the content produced by the company. That's what Vince and Bruce is about, money. They're about their stupid political agendas. We all know that, though. He also noted that he didn't believe his heart would be into the content produced by the company. He says, and I quote, when asked if he resigned with WWE, he said that if he did, it would only be for the paycheck and doesn't believe his heart would be into the content they produced. After the last go-around, he was glad they paid him well to spend his time getting in shape, but said doing that also was costly for him. He reiterated that the gimmick WWE had planned for him was the Stampede Stud. I don't know what that is, which he was actually pretty excited for. He thought his dark matches in the company went well, and said that Vince McMahon, Jesus Christ, why even mention his name? Vince McMahon told him he looked good. Smith was supposed to debut for the SmackDown brand before he was fired. End quote. David Smith said that WWE paid him well during his last run, but that ultimately proved costly for him. Smith then revealed that WWE planned a new gimmick for him called Stud, which was something that excited him. Smith then revealed that he felt the dark matches were good and Vince thought he looked good. David Hart Smith was supposed to return to SmackDown prior to his release from the company. However, nothing came to fruition, and he was released from the company in the end. Given David Hart Smith's recent comments, it looks like he may never return to the WWE ever again. Whose idea it was to release David Hart Smith from the company? Vince McMahon. So, you never say never in this business. That's what WWE says, at least. That's their line. Tensions continue between the Bloodline at WWE live event. Of course they are. So, Jimmy Uso attempted to contact his brother Jey Uso. Jey Uso has avoided the Roman Reigns-led stable since the group attacked Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. Jey also made an attempt to stop the Tribal Chief from hitting Zayn with a steel chair at the Elimination Chamber. This week's SmackDown saw another interesting turn. Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso brawled inside the ring. After their conversation, Jey stood in the stands and chose not to help out his brother, much to the shock of everyone. Moreover, at a recent WWE live event, Jey Uso made his separate entrance from the audience for a six-man tag team match. The match pitted him and his brothers, Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa, to team up together to face Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. Tension between Jey Uso and his family were on display, yet the trio was able to maintain their unity throughout the contest as they defeated the three formidable opponents. Have to wait to see what unfolds next in the Bloodline story that has captivated the audience on the road to WrestleMania. I gotta get a laugh at this article right here, man. Bayley originally wanted Peyton Royce in Damage CTRL stable. Oh, man. That is funny. Peyton Royce wouldn't even fit in Damage CTRL, given that Damage CTRL right now on the main roster is dead. They need to do a Damage CTRL breakup storyline or something. Damage CTRL is dead on the main roster. They are absolutely dead. You know how many times they've been losing? And then, it's bad enough that Io Sky and Dakota Kai lost as WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Give me a break. It's like WWE doesn't even know how to book their own WWE Women's Tag Team Champions on TV without them losing. My gosh. It's fucking terrible, dude. So, there were some original plans before nixing extra WrestleMania title match for Cody Rhodes. According to a report from Fightful Select, the rumored match between Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes is believed to obviously not be happening. It's not, period. Never mind, though, it's not. Never that. It's not happening at all. The match that's happening is Roman Reigns defending both of his titles against Cody Rhodes. That's what's going to happen. That's the match that's booked for WrestleMania 39. That's what's on the card. And I even have some news on the rumored WrestleMania 39 card as well. We're going to go over that news in a bit. That move would split up Roman Reigns' undisputed WWE Universal title. That being said, WWE had an interesting way of penciling in Cody Rhodes' spot on the WrestleMania card. The idea of holding an additional title match was eventually nixed, and we saw things come together as they are today. Still, the TBA that WWE had noted on the rundown could have belonged to The Rock. Says here, and I quote, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes or Drew McIntyre title match. A lot has changed since November, clearly because none of these three people are involved with each other at all. Rundowns as of that period had 2 title matches happening. This one on night 1 and another on night 2. Cody Rhodes was listed as an option for both of them, with TBA Cody Rhodes Reigns being set as a WWE Universal title match, and Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre as a WWE Championship match. End quote. It was also noted that Rhodes was always set to win the Royal Rumble, as one would expect, but the Drew McIntyre Sheamus team took off, and Seth Rollins moved on to Logan Paul, and the extra title match was next again altogether. Good. I don't know why they would want to come up with TBA, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns being set as a Universal title match, and Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre as a WWE Championship match. That makes no sense. No. That would bring down the ratings even worse. That would bring down the ratings even more. No way. No way, man. We'll have to see how the WrestleMania 39 card comes together as we approach the show of shows, says Ringside News. The superstars involved in those high-profile feuds will just have to bring it every time they're on TV to build momentum towards the big event on April 1st and 2nd. Guys, what if I tell you that Bayley's WWE heel turn was Triple H's idea? I mean, after all, Triple H was the one that had Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai to return during SummerSlam. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if her heel turn was Triple H's idea. It's claimed that Bayley's WWE heel turn was her idea. I don't believe that whatsoever. I think it was Paul Levesque's idea. I think it was a Paul Levesque idea, man. I really do. About celebrities taking space on WrestleMania 39 card. I don't blame them. I've been saying it for months. There should be no celebrities at WrestleMania 39. None. We don't need them. We don't need them. Get them off the card. And that includes Logan Paul. Get him off the card. We don't need celebrities. Logan Paul is really going to hurt some of the talent. He's really going to anger some of the talent. He already has. I don't even know why Logan Paul is on the card. He shouldn't be on there. I don't think anybody wants to see Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul's not a wrestler. He's a celebrity. So why is he on the card? This makes no sense for him to be on the card. It really doesn't. I don't blame the talent for being unhappy. I really don't. They need to be unhappy about Vince McMahon making changes in the shadows. That's another thing that talent needs to be unhappy about. The fact that Vince McMahon is in WWE again. Get him out, man. Vince McMahon shouldn't be there. Know why he's there. Jesus fucking Christ, man. So, as far as the update goes, Ringside News, they confirmed that WWE talent are not happy about the WrestleMania card. The original news was that WWE's biggest show of the year would be here before we know it, and odds are they will bring some mainstream headlines once again for the show of shows. One way to guarantee that they draw attention is to bring in big names and celebrities. This might have rubbed some the wrong way. Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, Mike Tyson, and so many more are names that WWE has used to pop extra attention for WrestleMania. It doesn't appear that Bad Bunny is coming back for the year's WrestleMania. Good. They don't need Bad Bunny. They don't need Bad Bunny. It doesn't appear that Bad Bunny is coming back for this year's WrestleMania. They don't even need Logan Paul. They don't even need Brock Lesnar. They don't need Ronda Rousey. Logan Paul is expected to be a part of the show. According to a report from Wrestling News' premium paywall, some WWE superstars aren't happy about the WrestleMania card. Yep. Remember when I told you earlier, the reason why they're not is WWE booked two of the worst fucking matches on the card. Brock Lesnar versus Omos and Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt. Another reason why, because Logan Paul is getting yet another opportunity. Something that the young talent that's sitting in Titus Catering are never getting these days. So you mean to tell me Logan Paul gets a WrestleMania match and Chad Gable doesn't? You mean to tell me Logan Paul gets a WrestleMania match and Mustafa Ali doesn't? You mean to tell me Logan Paul gets a WrestleMania match and the Hurt Business doesn't? You mean to tell me Logan Paul gets a match? You mean to tell me Logan Paul gets a match and Matt Moss doesn't? Look at all the talents that deserve to be at the WrestleMania pay-per-view. There are talents that deserve to be at WrestleMania way more than Logan Paul does. Clearly. I don't know why they in celebrities. You don't know. Keep them off the card. Keep them as far away from WrestleMania 39 as you can. We don't need them. I don't care what anybody in the community negative has to say about my opinion. My opinion is that they don't need legend celebrities. They need younger talent. They need all the talent that they have right now. Use that talent wisely. I don't know why you're going to be sitting there using legends like Goldberg, legends like Kelly and freaking Molly. You don't need all those celebrities. You don't. You don't. They are apparently complaining about the slots on the card being taken by legend celebrities. That includes Logan Paul. Hello. This is why I said Logan Paul should not be on the fucking card for WrestleMania. Did I not say that? And they go and book him in a match against Seth Rollins anyway. They go and put him on the card anyway. For what? He's not a fucking wrestler, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, dude. He's not a fucking wrestler. He's a celebrity. Are you serious? That's the same thing I said about Bad Bunny when he was booked to team up with Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. Hey, no. Give me a fucking break, man. Says here, and I quote, there's also some unhappiness about some of the slots on the show being used by legend celebrities. Obviously, things could change. Yeah, right. Give me a break. They're not changing the damn thing as long as Vince McMahon is still there. My God. Things could change, but those we spoke to were not happy about being involved in the company's biggest show of the year in Los Angeles. And you know what? It felt like Vince McMahon wrote Monday Night Raw this week, because Monday Night Raw was a fucking blowfest, as JD stated on his podcast, which was true. The fucking show sucked. It was complete garbage outside of 3 things on there that I'm not going to repeatedly say, because I've already gave you all those 3 things, those 3 best things on the show that stood out to me. And those 3 things were all matches. What a coincidence. They were all matches that delivered on the show. But there were at least only 3 or 4 matches that didn't deliver on the show. There were 3 that did deliver. I might as well bring them up anyway. Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. That's a match that delivered on the show. That's a match that I enjoyed watching. Street Profits versus Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. That's another match that delivered. The Women's Tag Team Championship match. That's the last match you would ever see delivered on the show. Even though the WWE Women's Tag Team titles are non-existent to me, they should not be on the show. They need to be burnt. We don't need WWE Women's Tag Team titles. There's no WWE Women's Tag Team division. So why are they still on the fucking show? Why are those titles still on their television? I don't get it. Anyways, we'll have to see how WWE pulls off WrestleMania 39. They will obviously bring a lot of big names to the event, with that guarantee that everyone backstage is happy about the card. That doesn't sound truthful to me at all. There are some people backstage that are not happy about the card, believe it or not. I think Ringside News and all these other sources want you to believe that everyone backstage is happy about the card, but they're not. They literally just said that superstars are unhappy about celebrating. What do you think they're saying? Superstars backstage are not happy about the card. They say guaranteed everyone backstage is happy about the card. No. I'm not. I'm not happy about the card. I'm not happy about the fact that Logan Paul's on the card. I'm not happy about the fact that they booked Lashley versus Omos. Or Brock Lesnar, and that would be a word. That would be even fucking worse. Lashley versus Omos. Oh my god, can you imagine them booking Lashley versus Omos? That'd be a complete fucking disaster. I'm not happy about the fact that Logan Paul's on the card. I'm not happy about the fact that we're getting Omos versus Lesnar. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody gives a shit about that. Definitely not happy about Wyatt versus Lashley. That is not a WrestleMania caliber match. I'm sorry. The rest of the matches I'm happy about being on the card. The rest of the matches I think are going to deliver. The only matches that are not going to deliver are Brock Lesnar versus Omos and Bobby Lashley versus Wyatt. The rest of the matches are going to deliver, in my honest opinion. I think it's safe to say we're going to get a very, very good, solid WrestleMania 39 pay-per-view. Let's hope so. Hopefully we don't see no fucking DQs or fuck finishes. Hopefully. Or no freaking fucked up roll-up pins for the 1, 2, 3. We don't need to see all that. It's either pin or submission. Period. We need to see talent getting over at WrestleMania. You need to make sure Triple H's administration, whoever is there in WWE, need to make sure the shows are written and produced right. Because if they're not written and produced right, the audience are not going to be watching. Some in the community feel like fans have wasted their fucking times buying tickets for the WrestleMania 39 pay-per-view. No. It's going to be a good pay-per-view. Only 2 matches. There's only 2 matches on the card that's not going to deliver. That's Lesnar versus Omos and Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley. 1 and 2 of the worst matches on the card. Only 2 matches. Only 2 of the worst matches on the card, man. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for both titles. That's going to be a banger. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. That's going to be a banger. You better believe that's going to be a banging, hard-hitting match. Lita and Becky Lynch defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against the team of Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I don't know about that. That match, I can already tell that match is going to that match is probably going to fall. I give this match a C if I was to grade this match. I don't think this match is going to be any good. I really don't. We know Omos versus Lesnar and Wyatt versus Lashley is not going to be good. Austin Theory versus John Cena. That's going to be a hell of a fucking match. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, hell of a match, even though Logan Paul should not be on the card. Even though Logan Paul should be attending WrestleMania rather than being booked for a match for WrestleMania. He's not a wrestler. I'm sorry, he's not a wrestler. Okay, it's sports entertainment, whatever, but he's not a wrestler. Get him off the card. Now, if he was a wrestler from a different wrestling promotion, if he was an actual wrestler being signed, I can understand. But no. This doesn't make sense. I don't think Logan Paul makes sense for Seth Rollins. I really don't. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin makes more sense for Seth Rollins, if you ask me. Plus, I'd love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle in the ring again. I really would. I really would, though. Seriously. Or you could have just gave us Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. You could have did that. We could have got Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Jesus fucking Christ. It's not that simple to book a match. It really isn't. It's really not that hard. It's really not. Could have gave us Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. Damian Priest deserves to be on the WrestleMania card, believe it or not. He's great at what he does. I could see Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins still in the show at WrestleMania 39. I'd rather watch Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins than Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Really. I really would. No shit. No fucking shit. That would be a good match. Absolutely would be a worthy banger of a match, man. No question about it. We even could have got Seth Rollins versus Escobar, but they're both baby faces in the company. But that would still be a good match. That would still be a worthy match. We could have got Seth Rollins versus Karrion Kross. We haven't seen that match yet. There's a lot of opponents out there. There's a lot more opponents out there for Seth Rollins to face. There's a lot more opponents out there that he could face, man. There's a lot more talent on that roster. We already seen the Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio feud. We seen them go against one another. I just don't get it, man. Seth Rollins versus Lesnar. We already got that. I think Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest would have been a lot better. That's just me. Damian Priest is a heel. He's a perfect opponent for Seth Rollins, you know. Or a Seth Rollins versus a Bronson Reed. There you go. There's another opponent that Seth Rollins could face. It's all about using young talent. Getting them over. Not getting the legends and fucking Hall of Famers like Goldberg over. No. Not getting celebrities like Logan Paul at WrestleMania. No. Sorry. Anyways, guys. Gonna move on to your next WWE Wednesday afternoon news here. I'm ready to move on from this. I'm so done. Like, really. I am so done. So done. So done with talking about this. It's gonna fucking piss me off in the next few seconds if I don't get off of it. So, here is the rumored WWE WrestleMania 39 card so far, ladies and gentlemen. So, We have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes confirmed for the Undisputed and Universal title. Charlotte Flair will be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. You can bet your ass that Rhea Ripley's winning that match, becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Cody Rhodes is winning and beating Roman Reigns, whether people like it or not, to become the Undisputed WWE Universal Champion. There's no way Roman Reigns, there's no way to let Roman Reigns beat Cody Rhodes. This has to be Roman Reigns' last match. Because remember, there's rumor has it that Roman Reigns will be leaving WWE for Hollywood. What if I tell you that Roman Reigns could be signing another multi-year contract with WWE or a long-term contract to where he could be full-time? What if I tell you that? Because God knows I want to see Roman Reigns in more matches. I want to see him in more storylines. I like Roman Reigns. I love what he does. He is great at what he does in the ring. He's good as a babyface and heel. He is absolutely fantastic. We have Bianca Belair defending her Women's Championship against Asuka. John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Yes, we're getting that match for the United States Championship. My God, the title needs to be on the line in that match. People, the geeks online said the United States Championship should not be defended. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. People are saying that there shouldn't be no United States Championship match. Who are you to say that? Really? If you don't think that Austin Theory should defend his United States Championship against John Cena, you gotta be an idiot. You gotta be a complete fucking idiot. You gotta be a complete asshole. Really. If you legitimately don't think that Austin Theory should defend his United States title, you haven't been watching wrestling, or you're just not a fan of wrestling at all. You're just a complete merc. A complete degenerate. We have Io Sky and Dakota Kai, or actually Becky Lynch and Lita defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler. You got the WWE Tag Team titles on the line. The Usos defending both titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You better believe we're getting Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Edge versus Finn Balor. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Here comes two of the worst matches on the card. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley. And Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. That's it. Those are the matches that are booked for WrestleMania 39 so far. You mean to tell me more matches is being added to both pay-per-views? You have to be kidding me. I hope to God they made a sub change to Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. I hope they get Logan Paul out of the WrestleMania card and replace him with Damian Priest. I want to see Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. I do. Damian Priest is a wrestler. Logan Paul is not. So, Nigel McGuinness' first post-WWE appearance was announced this week. To those of you that didn't know. So apparently Nigel McGuinness will be making an appearance during the Progress. I'm getting my stuff wrong. During the Progress during the Super Strong Style 16 weekend from May the 17th to the 27th. May the 27th, not 17th, 27th to May the 29th. So again, he'll be making an appearance during the Progress during the Super Strong Style 16 weekend from May 27th to May the 29th. The announcement was made during Progress Chapter 150. When the man comes around, Sensei Naikoi was announced during Chapter 150. when the man comes around, that Nigel McGuinness will be a part of Super Strong Style 16 weekend. Nigel McGuinness is a commentator and retired professional wrestler. He is best known for his time with WWE, where he worked as a color commentator for NXT, NXT UK, and NXT Level Up. As a wrestler, he is known for his work with Ring of Honor in the United States and Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. He held the Ring of Honor Pure Championship for a record 350 days and is a former Ring of Honor World Champion, holding the title for 545 days. He returned to Ring of Honor in August of 2011 as a color commentator and retired from in-ring performing. On December 17, 2011, he left Ring of Honor in December of 2016 and signed with WWE soon after, working as a commentator for NXT and NXT UK. Progress Wrestling is excited to have Nigel as part of the biggest weekend in the Progress Wrestling calendar for the 2023 edition of Super Strong Style 16. End quote. Things are certainly looking excited for Nigel McGuinness. I mean, they're not wrong. He's got a lot of shit going for him. Good on him. You don't see me complaining about Nigel McGuinness. NXT star competes in huge title match at WWE Wrestling. At a WWE Wrestling live event. WWE talent and crew were at the BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford, Illinois, for a live event last night. Sorry, my head is not feeling right. The house show featured a solid lineup as both the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was on the 26th, I believe, 26th of February. But it featured a solid lineup as both the SmackDown Women's Championship and the United States Championship were on the line. Now, SmackDown Women's Champion, the Android, Charlotte Flair, successfully defended her title in a fatal four-way match against Liv Morgan, Sonya Deville, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Zoe Stark. Here's that WWE officials are quite high on Stark as they have been putting her through dark matches and main roster house shows as of late. Stark has already excelled in her role in NXT. That said, main roster is a different animal, and WWE wants to test the NXT veteran before they can make a final decision. Zoe Stark isn't the only NXT talent who has received a main roster look in recent memory. Pretty Deadly are also getting main roster looks, and we've previously reported, says Ringside News, that Cameron Grimes is in limbo right now. It remains to be seen if Zoe Stark will join the main roster in the foreseeable future. What is y'all's take on that story? Wow. That is very surprising, but not shocking at all. Ex-WWE superstar waiting for call about pro wrestling comeback. JTG. Yes, you heard it, folks. You heard it from yours truly. JTG was a part of Crime Time in WWE for years. The tag team disbanded following their release. Sadly, Shad Gaspard died in 2020 when he was trying to save his son from an undercurrent at a California beach. While speaking to Tim Hand, JTG opened up a bit about his future in the business. Things seem wide open for him, as many look up to the former WWE superstar. He will keep doing his thing, and hopefully someone will realize all the hard work he's putting in and give him a call. Says here, and I quote, "Just keep blazing that trail. I have a lot of people watching me. I was told that I'm a mentor, I'm an idol, that people are watching me, motivating the younger generation. We'll see. Maybe I'll pick up my phone when they call, but somebody's going to call." End quote. We'll have to see if WWE gives JTG a call. He could still go in the ring. Time of asset he could be on their roster. And again, WWE isn't the only option right now in the pro wrestling world, so I'm sure JTG would see what Tony Khan has to say if he calls as well. Bray Wyatt was slammed over a confusing Firefly Funhouse segment. Yes, it's as confusing as killing a fucking fly. This segment was. Bray Wyatt reintroduced his popular show on the Blue brand, where he hosted a news program that recapped his previous call-outs on Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. The show also included a scene where Wyatt supervised the production of his segments on SmackDown. Towards the end of the show, a montage of eerie images was displayed. It was displayed through a slightly ajar door, with Wyatt repeatedly asking the viewers if they could keep a secret. However, some WWE fans expressed their dissatisfaction with the segment on Twitter. I don't blame them. This segment was just so boring to watch on TV. It really was. While speaking on Smack Talk, pro wrestling veteran Dutch Mantel talked about the aforementioned segment featuring Bray Wyatt. Mantel blamed Bray Wyatt for the segment being confused. It says, and I quote, "I was watching it, and it kind of went on longer than it should have gone on. Come on, guys, get out of it. I don't. That was really confusing. It really was. I thought I was back on drugs again. But no. It wasn't. No, I wasn't. That was really happening. I said people who are not drinking and doing drugs. Straight people put this together. And I was thinking, does it get attention on Bray? Does it get attention on Bray? It questions, it says. They didn't mention anybody else. I don't know. He did have Lashley and Brock in the video, but he could have had Abraham Lincoln. I don't get it." End quote. We will have to wait and see how WWE will book Bray Wyatt in the coming weeks, as we're slightly over a month away from WrestleMania 39. Fans are certainly excited for his plans as well. This news is just getting more and more boring as I go over it. Cody Rhodes is set to confront Roman Reigns on SmackDown this week. I already mentioned this earlier, to those of you that didn't know. Let me find a news article real quick, because I can't seem to find it anywhere on here. Tell you one thing, I'm ready to get off of here, and I may not be going live with my NXT review this week, guys. I'm just not feeling like it. I really just don't feel like it. Something is telling me not to go live with my NXT review. Something is just dragging me away, and I can't seem to figure out what it is. I know it sounds weird. I'm not trying to make it sound weird, but I'm being as truthful as I can here. Something is telling me not to do my NXT review this week. Something's telling me that nobody's going to be in the live chat for that, and nobody's going to give a what ifs or what's about it whatsoever. I don't think nobody's going to care about hearing NXT. Given that how terrible the shows are some weeks. Okay, I can't find a news article on Cody Rhodes confronting Roman Reigns. I may have to fucking just skip through it if I can't find it. There it is. Cody Rhodes took on Chad Gable in singles competition on the latest edition of Monday Night Raw. The American Nightmare picked up the win with a spectacular Cody cutter on Gable. Cody grabbed the mic after his win and hyped up his WrestleMania match against Roman Reigns. The 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner said he'll be on WWE SmackDown this week for a one-on-one meeting with the Tribal Chief. I have to see how the meeting will go down between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns this Friday on WWE SmackDown. As of right now, WWE has not booked any matches for SmackDown, so we'll have to wait till Thursday to find out. At least till Thursday or Friday. Grayson Waller is furious about his WWE 2K23 rating. Do you blame him? He should at least be at 90 already. I don't know why he's 88 overall. What the fuck? Really? I should be saying WWE 2K developers. What the fuck is that all about? That's what I should be saying. When I seen that news on Grayson Waller, it didn't really surprise me. WWE 2K are known for doing things more difficult with their games sometimes. WWE is filming a lot of promotional content for the upcoming 2K23 video game. The company, in connection with 2K, recently dropped a new clip of WWE's NXT superstars reacting to their WWE 2K23 overall rating reveal. The video features Grayson Waller, Nikita Lyons, and NXT champion Braun Breaker. All three performers are asked about their prediction for the rating. Nikita says she thinks 75 in the game. She says she thinks she's 75 in the game, she says. Braun picks 78, 79. Waller says he'll be about 92 or 90. The three superstars then get to know about the real ratings. Nikita is 80. Waller is 81. And Braun Breaker has an overall 85, which he says is pretty high for a rookie. Grayson Waller, however, is extremely displeased to learn about his rating. He says, and I quote, 81? What do you mean 81? Who decides this stuff? Who put Grayson Waller on 81? I'm at least a 90. This game ain't coming out till we fix this, he says. End quote. I don't know if that's K5 or if he's actually not happy about it. WWE 2K 23 drops on Friday, March the 17th. It will be available to play on PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and Microsoft Windows. I can't wait to get the game. Try it out and see how good it is. And I'm still getting AEW Fight Forever. Speaking of that, we got some AEW Fight Forever news to go over a little bit. I'm going to go over that later. There are some answers as to why Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn rematch will take place at a WWE house show. So, a recent announcement stated that the two WWE superstars are set for a rematch once again in Canada, and Toronto is getting the match this time. Roman Reigns will defend the undisputed WWE Universal title against Sami Zayn live event on March the 4th in Toronto's Coca-Cola Coliseum. Well, speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that the original match that was planned for the Toronto show featured Roman Reigns teaming up with Solo Sikoa to take on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a tag team match. However, given the ongoing storyline between Zayn and Owens, where they are attempting to repair their friendship in time for WrestleMania, it would not make sense for them to team up just yet, says Ringside News. Even for a house show, while only those in attendance would see the match, it's important for WWE to maintain continuity and consistency in their storytelling across all platforms. It seems that WWE made a decision to change the match lineup for the Toronto show in order to capitalize on the potential power of a Roman Reigns vs. Zayn rematch. This is likely due to the fact that such a matchup would likely generate significant interest in ticket sales. Of course, that. According to Meltzer, the show had sold just under 6,000 tickets as of this last update. However, after the announcement that Roman Reigns would be appearing at the show, not specifically for a rematch with Sami Zayn, around 600 tickets were sold in just a few days. This is a noteworthy boost in ticket sales and speaks to the popularity of Roman Reigns as a draw for WWE events. Just have to see how the match turns out. Obviously, we can't watch it on TV. It's a live event. The last WWE Wednesday afternoon news I have is on Matt Riddle. WWE is possibly not investing in Matt Riddle anymore. Possibly. I didn't say they're not. They're possibly. Might not be. Matt Riddle's most recent appearance on WWE television was on the December the 5th episode of Raw, where he teamed up with Kevin Owens in a losing effort against the Usos. Shortly after the match, he was attacked and injured by Solo Sikoa, resulting in Riddle being stretchered out of the arena. Since then, Riddle has been absent for WWE programming, with fans left wondering whether he will make a return time soon. Absence was due to Riddle's violation of WWE's wellness policy, which led to him being written off TV. Given that the circumstances, remains to be seen when or if he will make a comeback to WWE television. Riddle also recently dropped a video after being done with rehab. While speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer talked about Matt Riddle's status. Meltzer noted that WWE may no longer want to invest in Riddle. Says here, and I quote, he's been out of rehab for a long time. His suspension has been over for almost a month now, 4 weeks. It may be that they're just decided not to use him for Mania and not do anything with him. Or maybe they just don't want to invest in him. I presume he'll be back. But when he left, they made actually a point of saying he was gonna be gone for 6 weeks. And we're at about 11 or 12 weeks. End quote. A couple of weeks ago, the original Bro took to Twitter to hint at returning soon from his hiatus. Right now, it's unknown, says Ringside News, when Matt Riddle can actually make his way back to WWE, if at all. They will keep us updated on his status, hopefully. That's going to do it for your WWE Wednesday afternoon news. Now we're going to go over your AEW Wednesday afternoon news. AEW Fight Forever game release date seemingly revealed. Seemingly. I never said it was. I said seemingly. Oh boy, can't wait to hear that news. Can't wait to go over that news with you guys. Telling you right now, it's kind of not going to be exciting. The AEW video game. Sound like I'm speaking Spanish. Video game. The AEW video game has already been officially rated as T for teen. Oh, no wonder I'm high as fuck because I've been smoke vaping a lot. That's why I'm not getting my shit right. Due to this, fans wondered whether the game will release soon or not. Of course, they also wondered when the game would even release. According to recent updates, AEW's highly anticipated video game, AEW Fight Forever, has been listed with a potential release date of March 31st. However, it was worth noting that AEW has not yet confirmed this information. Previously, the game was rumored to release sometime in the second quarter of the year, as reported by Andrian. If this latest update holds true, fans may get their hands on the game sooner than expected. Andrew Zarian, he is great at what he does. I have nothing but respect for him. I hope he hears this, as the release date would fall within the Q1 period. The game will drop on PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, which will be very soon. How soon? I want to know. I want to know how fucking soon. There is a tweet where it's saying that Best Buy is indeed now showing the release date across all platforms for AEW Fight Forever video game. I hope we get DLC for that game, and I'm hoping we get WWE 2K23 as well. But we'll have to see how the game will be received by fans and critics alike. Yeah, I'm getting both games. Can't wait. Can't wait to try them out. AEW offers contract to breakout indie wrestler. And no, I'm not joking. That actually happened. This is legit news. So apparently, the person that AEW offered a contract to happens to be Ashley D'Ambrose, a rising star on the independence circuit. According to the report, the promotion has already to the 32-year-old. It says, and I quote, AEW is set to add another name to their roster if all goes well. Fightful Selects learned that AEW All Elite Wrestling has offered a contract to independent standout, highly talented prospect Ashley D'Ambrose. D'Ambrose has been on AEW wrestling radar for quite some time, as she debuted for the company 2 years ago in the Daily's Place era. She'd go to work 20 days for the company. And then it goes on to say that, including teaming with Sky Blue last summer on Rampage to take on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter. D'Ambrose started to pop up on other companies' television shows recently as well. Since December, she's appeared on several episodes of NWA TV. Also worked an Impact Wrestling match against former champion Deonna Purrazzo. Several in the industry pointed out D'Ambrose as a name to look out for, noting that she was a quick learner it took to pro wrestling well. D'Ambrose has wrestled for the last couple of years. Sources within AEW spoke to wouldn't confirm if the deal was full-time or tiered, but said that they believe D'Ambrose would be signing within the next couple of weeks. End quote. Ashley last competed for Tony Khan's promotion on the October the 21st, 2022 episode of AEW Dark, when she lost to Kayla Rossi in singles competition. Khan was producer for AEW Dynamite match last week. Oh boy, like that's supposed to be a surprise to anybody. Clearly it's not. According to Sean Rose sat behind Fightful's paywall, Tony Khan and Pat Buck were listed as the producers of the Revolution Tag Team Battle Royal. The match featured Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal winning, leading them to join the upcoming Guns and the Acclaimed at AEW Revolution on March the 5th to a fatal four-way tag team match. The fourth team for the match will be decided in a casino battle royal on the March 1st episode of AEW Dynamite, which happens to be tonight. So here are the other producers for all segmented matches on last week's Dynamite. It says here, and I quote, Dusty Rhodes produced Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. The Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho segment was produced by QT Marshall. Big Bill and Lee Mariani versus the Acclaim was produced by Jerry Lynn. BJ Whitmer produced Sky Blue versus Saraya. John Moxley versus Evil Uno was produced by Dean Malenko. Pat Buck also produced the Bryan Danielson MJF promo in which the AEW World Champion revealed a real-life relationship split with reported embezzlements for the sake of the promo. The Jungle Boy Christian segment was listed as possible live segment. It didn't have a producer attached. End quote. Chris Jericho also recently explained why Tony Khan rarely makes appearances on AEW television. So I have to wait and see what the AEW president has in store for fans in the coming weeks. AEW still has a long way to go before selling out. And Vicky Guerrero is set to leave AEW. Your last AEW Wednesday afternoon news is going to be on the AEW Rampage viewership. You're going to be shocked about it when I go over it. So here's the news on the AEW Revolution and their tickets. So during the entirety of the previous year, the company organized 5 pay-per-view events. Among them, Forbidden Door, Double or Nothing have emerged as the top selling events to date. The company will be holding the Revolution pay-per-view next year at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California on March 5th, 2023. It will be AEW's first pay-per-view to be held in California. I think Ringside News meant to say this year. I don't know why they put next year. No. It's this year, not last year. No, not next year. This year. I bought AEW Revolution, by the way, guys. I bought the pay-per-view. So I will be live for my AEW Revolution 2023 watch along this Saturday for the pay-per-view. It's Saturday night. It's going to be a good time. And I hope I get the biggest audience in the live chat for the pay-per-view. I'm probably going to start on the Revolution thumbnail maybe either tomorrow morning or Friday afternoon. Maybe. Depends. I think I'm streaming a game Friday. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming a game Friday. But I'm still going to start on the Revolution thumbnail and background for the AEW Revolution 2023 pay-per-view watch-along. So be on the lookout for my Revolution watch-along because it'll be scheduled on the channel soon. According to WrestleTix, the event has sold 7,434 tickets so far. It now has 1,676 left to sell. The show is set up for 9,110 tickets. There is less than a week left before the premium live event, which is certainly alarming now. We'll have to wait to see whether the company will manage to sell all the remaining tickets in such a less amount of time. For the time being, things do not look good for the event as of right now. So these are the matches booked for the premium live event. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. MJF defends that against Bryan Danielson in a 60-man Iron Man match. AEW Tag Team Champions, the Gun Club versus the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus another team will be in the match. So we got an AEW TNT Championship match. So Samoa Joe will be defending his TNT Championship against Wardlow. So we're going to be getting the rematch of Samoa Joe Wardlow. We got Jon Moxley versus Adam Heyman Page rematch in Texas Death Match. Versus Jericho versus Ricky Starks. That's another rematch we're getting. And everyone will be banned from ringside. We got Jamie Hayter defending her AEW World Women's Championship against Ruby Soho and Saraya. And then AEW Trios Champions, the Elite. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega will be defending their Trios Championships against Buddy Matthews, Brody King, and Malachi Black. End quote. Remains to be seen how Tony Khan's company would generate enthusiasm for their upcoming event with a significant number of tickets still available. AEW will need to put in the effort to generate buzz and increase interest. If they want a very, very good, solid, produced, written AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Especially if they want to get fans invested. Vicky Guerrero is set to leave AEW. Fightful's Paywall reported that Vicky Guerrero is set to finish up with AEW. This was confirmed by many sources. It was confirmed by multiple sources within the internet wrestling community. She worked as Nyla Rose's manager. The two had some fun together, and it seems her time is done. It says here, and I quote, Rhapsody and Fightful's Righteous Rig learned that All Elite Wrestling manager Vicky Guerrero is set to finish up with the company, which was confirmed. Other Fightful sources, she's been with AEW since December 2019 and started as Nyla Rose's manager in July of 2020. Along the way, she would also help manage Andrade El Idolo and Marina Shafir. It was also reported that Vicky Guerrero and All Elite Wrestling specifically have agreed to not renew her AEW contract, which expires in July of 2023. Vicky Guerrero has worked heavily on AEW heels, and she also helped contribute to a number of AEW digital projects. Vicky also recorded an episode of AEW Unrestricted as recent as last week. Let's see what Vicky does next. She has a life outside the pro wrestling business that she might return to. In the meantime, hopefully, Vicky Guerrero finds her something to do. And everybody wish Vicky Guerrero the best of luck as she starts a new adventure very, very soon. Here's your last AEW Wednesday afternoon news. And that's on the AEW Rampage viewership from last week. The AEW Rampage viewership jumps over 400K with return to normal time slot. Showbuzz Daily reports that February the 24th episode of AEW Rampage brought an overnight average of 409,000 viewers with a .11 in the 18 to 49 demographic. It was a jump up in viewership as they returned to their normal time slot. The February the 17th episode of Rampage brought a viewership number of 287,000 with a .7 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Keep in mind that they were on at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time this week due to the NBA on TNT. AEW Rampage drew an incredibly low viewership on February the 10th. They only pulled in 375,000 viewers with a .12 rating in the 18-49 demographic. That was their lowest viewership number to date at that point. AEW Rampage brought in 486,000 viewers on February 3rd. They also drew a .11 in the 18-49 demographic. AEW Rampage did not perform very well at all on January 27th as they brought in 419K viewers. It came after WWE scored over 2.4 million for SmackDown with their Royal Rumble Go Home show. January 20th episode of Rampage brought in viewership of 474,000 with a .3 to 1849 demographic. January 13th episode of Rampage brought in average viewership of 513,000 with a .13 in the 18 to 49 demographic. January the 6th episode Rampage brought in 551,000 viewers with a .15 to 1849 demographic. December 30th brought in 470,000 viewers. December the 23rd episode brought in 566,000 viewers in the 1849 demographic. December the 16th episode of Rampage brought in 447,000 with 185K in the 1849 demographic. December the 9th episode brought in 421,000, I believe. 421,000 viewers. It was up from last week. That number is down 16% from last year's episode. The December the 2nd episode of Rampage brought in 361,000 viewers with a 0.8 in the 18-49 demographic. It's not a good sign for AEW as they close out the year. As they did close out the year. The Black Friday episode of AEW Rampage drew a fast national rating of 391,000 viewers for their special 400 p.m. time slot. They drew 129K in the 1849 demographic. So this was last year's viewerships for Rampage for last year. For November and December and January. Now we'll have to see if AEW's B show can pull things up. They are currently putting in enough work to build good cards, but they are also dealing with a difficult time slot. But there's no reason why they should be rushing these shows. They need to stop rushing Rampage. Stop rushing the show. Everything is okay. You know, and there's no need for you to be rushing the show. Take your time with the show at all times. That's the only problem I have with them. And their commercial breaks, man. They need to cut the shit with these commercial breaks. They be putting on way too many commercial breaks. They do the same thing WWE does. Every time I'm live in my SmackDown review, every time something good happens in a match, they have to go on commercial. Every time. Why do they do that? That's annoying as shit. It really is. And that's going to do it for both your WWE and AEW Wednesday afternoon news, guys. I'm getting the hell out of here. My mouth is tired. I'm tired. My head is not from right. Feeling numb and weird. My forehead is. If you enjoyed hearing your WWE AEW Wednesday afternoon news, please let me know in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream. Let's get some likes because I don't see none. And I'm starting to get very, very pissed that I don't see no likes on the stream. Guys, I may go live with an NXT review. I may not. I'm looking at the voting poll now, and everybody on the voting poll seemingly votes yes. They want to see me live with an NXT review. They want to see me review NXT and what they want to know my thoughts on NXT. So I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to get it ready. But if I'm late for my NXT review, well, the reason why I will be, if I am, is because I'm going to be doing the AEW Dynamite thumbnail for the Dynamite watch along. So I might as well just start on the Dynamite thumbnail for the watch along first, and then start doing the thumbnail for my NXT review. So I'll see you guys live for NXT, and we'll have more WWE and AEW Wednesday afternoon news to go over after your NXT review. So I hope to see you guys there. And I hope you guys enjoy your Wednesday afternoon. I'll see you guys live for NXT, and I should see you guys live for AEW Dynamite after NXT. Thank you guys for joining the live for your Monday Night Raw review. I'm getting out of here. Guys, live for NXT. I'm out of here for now.